everyone. I hope that you're enjoying the mice stories. Today I have a story about a different mouse. We haven't read about him before, but his name's Frederick. And just like the other mice or hibernation things we've been talking about, this mouse, Frederick, is doing something to prepare for winter. But he's not doing something like everybody else. So I'm going to read you this story and you'll learn how Frederick is different. This story is by Leo Leone, and it's the same one who did one of the chameleon stories. So you've heard from this author before. Here goes. Frederick. All along the meadow where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away. The barn was abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked together day and night, all except Frederick. That's Frederick. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. Can you see the sun above him? And when they saw Frederick sitting there, staring at the meadow, they said, "And now, Frederick?" "I gather colors," answered Frederick simply, "for winter is gray." And once, Frederick seemed half asleep. "Are you dreaming, Frederick?" the mice asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, "Oh no, I'm gathering words. For the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say." The winter days came. And when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick said about sun rays and colors and words. "What about your supplies, Frederick?" they asked. "Close your eyes," said Frederick as he climbed on a big stone. "Now I send you the rays of the sun." Can you see how their rocks are getting brighter? Do you feel how their golden glow? And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? "And how about the colors, Frederick?" they asked anxiously. "Close your eyes again," Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles and red poppies and the yellow wheat, and the green leaves of the berry bush, the mice saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. And the words, Frederick. Frederick cleared his throat. He waited for a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, "Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the four-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I." Here's the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat, and winter is last with cold little feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with one less or one more. When Frederick had finished, the mice all applauded. That means they clapped. "But Frederick," they said, "you are a poet." Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, "I know it." So Frederick taught the mice about the 4 seasons. And I think his job was pretty important too, because it helped those cold winter days pass a little better for those other 4 mice that he lived with in his family.